All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of a guy that's apparently just hit, the Chris Rock special on Netflix. Man, let me get the first one out. I hated it. I tuned out mentally. After
Well, okay,
10
I'm gonna be
minutes.
serious. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Oh,
I watched
that's the
bits.
problem.
I watched the bits and pieces that I liked.
Okay. Before we get into that, can you name maybe in the last 6 months any Netflix specials for comedians that you've watched, like in its entirety?
No, it's actually I haven't watched a lot in a while.
This is great prep.
I mean, Chappelle would be
Yeah.
the only ones I'd watch.
What's the last one you've watched then?
It would be the Chappelle one. Yeah.
Chappelle's good, right?
Yeah.
Surely you watched the Hassan Minaj one, right?
No,
Dude, get him out.
sorry, man.
I can't afford that.
Sorry to rag on my brown.
Dude.
I don't like it, man. I don't like it.
You don't like Hassan?
I don't like Hassan Minaj.
Why not?
Because he's not funny. I don't find him funny at all.
What?
Yeah, I actually don't think he's a comedian. Like, no, seriously.
He's a storyteller, though. We agree.
He's a storyteller, but
Yeah.
he's not a comedian, right? Like, that's
Hold up. On what? Wait a second. Okay. Are comedians not storytellers anyway?
No, they are. But like, I just don't think his storytelling is not funny. He's more,
But he's
like,
got punchlines.
no, but he's more a storyteller than he is a comedian.
Okay, does it matter if he's a comedian or not, though? Okay,
Yeah, because I don't have to want to laugh. Stand up, man. I don't watch stand up to be told.
Alright.
TED Talks, man, get out of here.
All right. Okay, but hold up. Chappelle's new stuff is all TED Talks, really. If you think
Yeah,
about
but
it.
like he's a genius.
Nah.
The
See,
way
you
he
got
phrases
the
stuff.
cognitive bias. You've got a bias. You've got a bias. Okay.
He's legit funny in what he says.
Okay.
He says, he's the goat.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Why is he? Okay. You know what? That's another concept. Okay. Let's talk about Chris Rock. Let's talk about the Will stuff, right? Because everyone wants
Let
to
me
go
just
to the Will.
rephrase it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I initially, and this is like 20 years ago, I didn't find Chris Rock funny first up, right?
I still don't find it that funny.
I'm actually finding him more funny lately maybe because of this Will Smith situation, but even a little bit before that, I was finding it a little bit more funny. But early on in his career, in the first 15 years, I didn't really find Chris Rock that funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I feel as he's gotten older, he's gotten a bit more funnier. But that's just my opinion.
That's your opinion. Okay. Let's talk about the Will stuff. Will and Jada. Like, what was your opinion on it?
I mean, the clapback was real. Like that
Yeah.
was some good clapback from Chris.
What did you say exactly?
He was like, oh, he was basically saying Will got publicly,
Demasculated, right?
emasculated
Yeah.
in front of worldwide audience, in front of his wife who's asking him questions about the infidelity.
Yeah.
He goes, yet he wants to punch me. Everyone's making fun of him. Everyone's calling him a B.
Yeah.
But he wants to make fun of me.
Yeah.
Or he wants to punch me.
Yeah.
And it's like what? Like, why does he want to punch me? Like, everyone else is calling him
Yeah.
can I say that
Little
again?
Mitch. Little Mitch.
A Mitch, yeah. Yeah. But, it's just, I mean, that's the only part, really. I mean, there was another part as well, I think. I forgot what they were saying. But, that was the main part that drew the news, right? That drew all the news.
Of course. I mean,
coverage.
everyone knew, he deliberately left it to the end.
And a lot of people thought he was a bit aggressive towards Jada and Will. And
Yeah.
there was reports that Will was very upset about it as well.
Yep.
And, what do you think? Is it too aggressive or?
So, I watched it in its entirety, right?
Yeah.
So obviously we knew the whole premise was people wanted to a commentary on it. So he knew that and he kept it at the end to get people waiting. I think they're okay, to your point to comedians, stand-up comedy, it is storytelling, right? So, but he was going down the Dave Chappelle route, right?
Yeah.
So to me, just to put it very blankly, there are two types of comedians. One is punchline. You just set it up quickly and then you just get the euphoria, right? But he was evolving basically topics, and Dave does that very well.
Yeah.
But the pacing has to be right to be able to do that. Yeah. And I think it was quite crass, which is okay. The thing is, I don't watch a lot of Chris Rock stand-up, so I don't know if that's how he always has been. But I've heard people say he comes across as an angry old man. Yeah.
It felt more crass than usual.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and that could be because of what he's been through in the past 12 months, right? But a lot of people also felt, I don't know if you felt this as well, that the mic drop at the end wasn't really great. It was kind of
yeah, I know what you mean. It was.
He was I think the mic drop was
My mom taught me better.
my mom
That's
told
it.
me not to fight in front of white people.
Yeah, and that's
mic
it.
drop. Like
Yeah,
that was a bit like
yeah. No, it was. I
kind of
didn't.
a
I didn't know if
chuckle.
it ended, but like the other thing was just the energy was weird
Yeah.
because after that he was going like this. It was weird. Like it was. I watched the whole thing. I don't know. Like you can't. I don't want to I don't want to be too overly harsh and
Here's the thing,
critical.
this is Chris Rock, 20 years in the business now.
Yeah, of course,
So-
of course. Like yeah. No, agree. But you know what? Then I went back and watched his older stuff.
Yeah.
That was funny. It was generally funny.
Yeah.
And I do think that comedians, they're artists, right? So they can evolve their structure. But like his younger stuff was punchlines.
Well, that's where I did like disagree, right? Because I found his younger stuff just to be like a lot of. He was shouting a lot,
He was, yeah.
but I found his sort of transition into an older person, like fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Like he's older now, and he's like, like he's getting punched by Will.
Yeah. No doubt.
Pissing off Jada.
No doubt that's helped him.
Yeah.
Like no doubt that's helped him. And he did this live, but I don't know. The thing is, because I was so disappointed for the content leading up to it, that when that Will stuff was delivered, it just felt like a deflation. I don't know.
It's already deflated by then.
Personally, yeah, because he had just lost. I was on the phone the whole time.
Yeah, he lost
like
it.
I couldn't get into it. Yeah. And to be honest, like there are very few stand up, which is why I like the Hassan stuff, because I think in the pacing of it, you have to, like 40 minutes is a long time, right?
Yeah.
You can't get people laughing consistently. Like it's actually not possible. So you've got to get them at the right level of pacing and building up in the story to kind of get it. And either it's a connection of succinct stories or it's like little chapters.
Well, that's where Chappelle was a master at.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like he has these stories, but they all sort of link.
Yeah.
They all connect in a way.
Yeah.
I don't think Chris Rock probably has that. Right?
Well, my thing is, I don't think he was ever that guy. So
Yeah,
then
he was never that guy.
he's now hanging with Chappelle,
Yeah.
and like I get
Maybe this is his attempt.
No,
at
it is. Like
And
for a
it's just
lot of guys, they all hang there. And again, like who am I to be like critical about it? But like it's just my view, and the view was shared with a lot of other people.
Yeah, a lot
but
of
yeah,
people thought that.
about the Will bit, he was very aggressive on it. But like from a human perspective, it's like I can't see why he wouldn't be anyway, right? The guy smashed you, like slapped you, public
He
television.
didn't do anything.
He didn't.
Stood there, took it, and just smiled. Really.
He took it professionally.
Yeah.
He delivered it out. He's having his time in the sun. Was it the most entertaining synopsis of it? Maybe not, but maybe. I mean, I'm sure people enjoyed it. There's some
Yeah.
people that enjoyed it. A lot of people did. So I'm like, that just shows
Or a lot of people just enjoying it because it's like,
it's just the
Against
topic of
Will.
the month. Exactly. But why are people hating Will, man? Like, he had a brain fart. Like he's dealing
Will's
with
not a bad PR. He's just,
You reckon?
he's,
Oh, okay, so you've heard of his movie Emancipation, right?
yeah.
So.
That was a joke about that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He was like, I watched it just to watch Will get whipped.
That was a good one.
That was
I
funny.
gotta give Chris.
That was funny.
Chris.
That was funny.
you know,
That was funny. That was good. That was good.
But yeah, it's just
It's in poor taste, but it's good.
Will's just, I think, also ever since he got emasculated on live TV with his wife there,
Yeah.
it just seems to have gone downhill for him.
What do you mean? But I don't get
PR wise, gone downhill, right?
On what though?
His image changed, and then that led in like he just looked different. Before that,
Yeah.
he had this aura of like, man, that's the guy, man. That's the guy in Hollywood. That's our guy.
Yep.
Right. That's the French Prince, and look what he's made of himself. He's like the guy. He's not the guy anymore.
He's older. A lot of guys evolve that. Like
I mean-
not a lot of people have the Chappelle arc where in his age he's getting a renaissance.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's more the Will trajectory.
Yeah.
The highs that Will was on, like movie after movie, like I'm sorry, but like you can't replicate that. So it's always gonna be a level of low. But I don't. The thing is, he's really leaned into this feelings and all that sort of stuff, which is good. I think it's actually pretty healthy, to be honest.
But the thing is, it's kind of making him look phony. I don't know if it's just the way it's presented.
Yeah.
It might be. It might need to fire some
Yeah.
of his PR people or whatever.
Yeah.
But it just feels a bit phony, and this all seems to be emanating from Jada as well.
Yeah.
There's a phoniness coming from her that's rubbing off on Will, and rubbing off on the kids. It's just like, that's not who Will was.
It's so funny because the things that he's talking about are deeply personal, right?
Yeah.
and he's sharing it out, and it's some form of therapy for him.
Yeah.
But you're right, like it's not something the
not
average
coming
Joe
off
Blow.
right.
Yeah,
It's not coming off
well,
right.
to my thing, like stuff like that is effectively sharing your family dirty laundry.
Yeah.
It can never come off right.
Yeah.
It'll always like appear that, but it's a fascinating glimpse, and it's so hard because like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is still my number one
Yeah.
TV show of all time for a lot of people. That's
Well, here's the fascinating thing with Hollywood, right? Like you always see these ups and downs.
yeah,
I think everyone wants to see this Will Smith come back.
of course, yeah,
They
yeah.
want to
But-
see it.
but yeah,
I don't know if they're ready for it though.
What do you mean?
I just think it's not the right time. I think maybe he has to wait a couple of years.
Yeah.
There's too much heat on him. There is a lot of heat on him at the moment. I think he needs to take some time off.
Yep.
Just take some time off, clear his head, really just go and like, I don't know, just get away from Jada.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, man, I just don't like Jada. Sorry, I don't like anything she says.
Jada, man.
And I think he needs to get away from that energy.
Yeah, those guys are a package deal. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but like it just seems like there's a magnetism there that they just can't get with each other. Anyway,